Hi, I'm Ruheene, and I'm the founder of Buttr and the CMO for Buttr CRM. Now, before we dive into the wonderful world of marketing automation, I did want to address the two biggest automation myths that I have come across personally. Because before I will even work with a client, I like to manage their expectations. I like to educate them on what automations are and what they aren't. Because while a lot of small business owners have heard about automation, they may or may not think that they understand what it is and what it isn't. I find that most of the time they don't actually understand what it is. Even the more technical ones come with some preconceived notions about what automations are and what they can expect from them. And so the very first thing that I do with the new client before I will even work with them, before we sign any contracts, is to educate them on what automations are and, equally important, what they are not. So with that being said, let me jump into presentation mode here. And let's dive into these two big automation myths. So the first one is that automations are a set it and forget it kind of process. And while that does sound like what automations should be and could be, they really aren't when it comes to automating your marketing strategy. Because marketing itself is a living, breathing thing that is constantly evolving. And so there is no set it and forget it kind of solution that I'm aware of personally. But automations can help you automate a lot of processes that you would be doing manually as an agency, as a business owner, or even as a team member working for a business, right? And a lot of what that involves is paying for that team to manage things for you, paying for that VA. And also it allows for more human error, right? And so when you start automating things, when you start implementing systems in your business, and this is what I tell my clients, it can not only reduce that human error, it can also help onboard team members more quickly. It can allow you to be more in control of what your output is going to be and be more in control of what your business is putting out there in general. So let's talk about what automation really is. It's a build, test, tweak, and repeat kind of process, which is also where the Buttr acronym comes from. So it's really an ongoing process where you first build an automation the way you think it should work. Then you want to test it. First, you would test it yourself, or whoever's building the automation would test it themselves, of course. Then you want to test it with your team. And then you can introduce it to a smaller pool of your audience with A/B testing, or depending on how you have things set up, it can be many different ways. But you want to test it with a small pool of your audience before releasing it into the wild. Based on that, you're going to want to either tweak or eliminate any pieces that aren't working exactly the way you expected it to. And at the same time, you might want to scale up the parts that are, right? And this is really a repeatable process. You want to keep doing this for each automation until you get it working just right. And even then, it's not exactly a forget it kind of process, but once you build an automation, you've tested it, you've tweaked it, it's gotten to a point where you're happy with the way it's working, you will still want to either yourself or have a team member check in on it every once in a while. And if you're wondering how often you need to check in on an automation, it really just comes down to how important it is for the business that you're building it for. If it's a key part of their marketing strategy, then probably once a day. Again, it could just be a 5-minute check-in. It doesn't have to take all of your time or the business's time. And that's the beauty of automation. And of course, once you have an automation piece working, then you would build the next piece. Now, for those of you who have been working with automation, who have been doing marketing for a while, this isn't probably new to you. This is probably not very earth-shattering or very cool. But for business owners who come to you as clients, as potential clients, this is the best way that we found in order to break it down into something that is understandable for them and something that they really understand so that they know what to expect once we start working together. The second myth is that automations are a highly technical and Zapier heavy process. Now, when I say Zapier, I really mean integrations, because we could be talking about Zapier, we could be talking about Integromat or Make. And I believe there's a new one, Pabbly, which I haven't personally used yet, but I have heard good things about it. Now, these integration software are extremely powerful. I have absolutely nothing against them. In fact, they are, when used in the correct situation, they can be really, really powerful. So I like to have it in my toolbox, but not for a basic marketing setup. Meaning, if your clients are on social media trying to get leads there, if they're trying to bring them into their email marketing, send them links to their website or their opt-in pages or their sales pages, and have them convert into leads and sales for their business. For a setup like that, there's no need for things like Zapier anymore. Now, you probably already have heard of HighLevel in some capacity today. And what HighLevel is it's an all-in-one marketing software that brings all of these pieces that I just mentioned together so that you're not having to sign up for, your clients aren't having to sign up for different software, connect them with Zapier integrations, and then when something doesn't work quite right or you're setting up a new automation, now you have to look in all of these different software to find where the problem is. And if you can't identify it, then good luck trying to find the right customer support team to help you out, because I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but I can tell you that when you have a lot of different pieces and software connected, more often than not, even if you've taken the time to do your homework and figure out where the problem is, that customer support team's initial reaction is probably going to be, oh, it's not us, it's them, right? It's the other software that you're connecting it to. You might want to check with them. Not all customer support teams will do this, of course, but it's happened to me. And so I like to reduce the number of software that I'm having my clients sign up for, that I'm having them connect together, just to keep things simple to make, life easier. And so with that, in case you aren't completely familiar with what HighLevel is, it's basically an all-in-one CRM that combines all of these different things together under one roof. And so you're bringing in your funnels and websites, your email and SMS marketing, your sales pipelines, membership portals, calendar bookings, basically eliminating a lot of the other software that in a more traditional setup, we would need to sign up for separately in order to have these basic pieces working in a business, right? Now, the one thing that HighLevel doesn't come with is chat automations in the traditional sense. You do get a little chat widget that connects either to your email or your SMS, but in the more traditional sense of a chat widget that can sit on your website where you can actually have a conversation with your lead or your audience right on your website or on social media, that's something that HighLevel doesn't come with. And that's something that we really wanted in our systems, because those are the kind of clients we were serving. We were serving clients that were on social media, spending a lot of their time on their content strategy, but not really understanding how to convert those clients into leads and sales for their business. And so we were already serving clients with a tool called ManyChat, which you've also probably heard of, and helping them get set up with ManyChat, integrate it with their CRM, with their other marketing systems, in order for them to make that whole thing, generating leads and converting them into sales through our nurture process, through different channels like email, SMS, and other ways. We wanted to make that whole thing a seamless process. And so when we came across HighLevel, we were really excited. I actually used it for my own agency and my own program for a year and a half before we decided to dive in and white label HighLevel and market it to our clients as an additional offering. So really, that's the piece that we've brought to our version of HighLevel, which is Buttr, is the seamless integrations with ManyChat. And so if you really want to get a clear picture of what Buttr is, it's basically HighLevel with integrated chat automations is what we offer as our CRM. Now, when I say integrated, I don't mean that we've recreated something like ManyChat. We don't have chat automation flows built into HighLevel. But what we do is we have a form builder, and I'm going to show you what that all looks like in a minute. But basically, if our clients are like, we don't want to learn another software, we don't want to get into ManyChat, we don't want to have to, now spend the time to work on that and start building out flows, we have templates that are built out in ManyChat that they simply connect to their accounts. They log into their Buttr CRM, they fill out a form, and that automatically updates their ManyChat. And on the flip side, when they're generating leads on social media and bringing them into their DMs and capturing their information, we have an app on the ManyChat App Store, which again, I'll show you in a little bit. But that app grabs their information, sends it over to your CRM, and allows you to set up whatever automations you need beyond that. So for example, we have a lead generation quiz that we've built out. It's a Who's Your Marvel Avatar quiz, which basically asks you a series of 5 marketing questions to identify what your marketing superpower is and what your weaknesses are, right? Because our premise is that knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are when you're setting up your marketing really allows you to arm yourself with the tools and the knowledge you need in order to set up systems that are going to help you convert more of your audience into leads and eventually into sales. And so what we do is we find out their Marvel avatar, we collect their email, we send that information over to Buttr, and then we have an email trigger go out with that custom field, which is now their Marvel avatar, giving them more information about what that avatar really means for them and their business and how they can use their superpowers to capitalize on that in order to generate more results for their business. And so the clients that we work with are generally clients who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners who are spending a lot of their time on social media. Now, for their businesses, they know that social media can be really powerful. They're generating a lot of content and using CTAs or calls to action like, follow me for this, or comment below and I'll send you something, or DM me for more information. Now, the problem with those things are that a lot of people will follow you, they'll comment, they'll like things, but the moment you say message me, they go into analysis paralysis mode because now they don't know what to message you. In their heads, they're thinking, well, I've never messaged this business before. So what should I say? Should I introduce myself? Should I tell them a little bit about my business and what my history is? Or should I simply say, hey, can I get access to that thing that you just talked about in your content? And in the meantime, their dog pees on the carpet, the doorbell rings, and they're off and distracted, and that moment is lost, right? And so a lot of times when you use a CTA, or when our clients use CTAs like message me for something, it doesn't always work the way they expect it to. They see other people doing it, and then they find that it's not quite converting the way that they expected it to. Excuse me there. The other CTA that's really popular that you may have seen or may already be using or seeing your clients use is click the link in my bio for XYZ, right? Now, when you say click the link in my bio, you're basically asking people to do all these extra steps. You're asking them to click on your account, click on the link in your bio, go through all the links that you have there, and then go through all of that information in each of those links. Again, in the meantime, life happens and they may be off and may actually never take that next step with your business or your client's business. So instead, what we found is that the most powerful way to convert your audience on social media into leads, into sales for a business is by using ManyChat, because by simply using keyword triggers where you tell your audience, instead of just saying message me for something, you say comment below the keyword #123, or message me the keyword or the word. You don't want to say keyword. Not a lot of people know what keywords are, but message me the word #XYZ, and I'll send you a link to whatever it is that you're looking for. Once they do that takes out that analysis paralysis piece of it, because now they're not wondering what to message you. They have a word that they know that they need to message you, and that's it. And that starts the automation where you can capture their information, you can get their email, send it over to your software, and then share that link with them. And just simply by doing that, we've seen a huge boost in engagement. People normally see a 2% click-through rate in the link in their bio. Now, don't quote me on this statistic, only because it's something that I saw in an article back in January, and then I haven't been able to find that article since. But it seemed pretty believable to me, because the clients that I work with, the clients that I speak with, they notice that not a lot of people will take that action. Clicking on the link in their bio only usually happens when somebody is new to your account. They've actually landed on your account either through referral or through some of your content, and now they're more interested in learning more about your account already. They're already interested. And so they're going to kind of go through your account. They're going to go through some of your content. They might click on the link in your bio and maybe take that next step with your business. But in that process, you do tend to lose a lot of people who just don't convert. And so just by using ManyChat, we've seen a boost of like up to 80% on average. So I shouldn't say up to, but on average, we've seen a boost of about 82% in click-through rates. And this can be a link to your webinar, it can be a free resource, it can be a lead magnet, or it can be your sales page, right? We're not talking about the conversions on those sales pages just yet, but we're talking about the click-through rate on your links. So it's really getting more traffic to your pages is the key here. And simply by starting our clients off with simple keyword trigger automations like I just described, we've seen them get really excited instead of getting overwhelmed with all the tech that can go into ManyChat sometimes. we've seen them get really excited with the results that they start to get, and then we start to build on it. So if you have clients that are new to automation, new to ManyChat, they don't really know where to start or how to get started, I do recommend starting with these simple keyword triggers in ManyChat, because it gets them really excited and gets them results fast. And then you can start to build on those larger systems. And an example of those larger systems are things like if our clients are running live challenges, we have a bootcamp bot for them. If they're looking to engage their audience more on social media, bring them into the DMs, pre-qualify them as they're capturing their information. We have quizzes in different formats for them. We have some smaller flows like building a waitlist for an upcoming program or service or offer. And pre-qualifying people before they can schedule a call with you, which increases show-up rates. And so we have a whole bunch of templates that we've built out in ManyChat. And again, all our clients do in order to update any of these templates is go into the Buttr CRM, fill out a form with their content, or update any information in that form. And it auto-populates in ManyChat, and it just works out of the box. So with that being said, let me switch over to my phone here. All right, so I'm on my Instagram account, and this is my professional account. It's the Bot Gal. And so if you want to play with any of my automations, if you're taking notes, take these keywords down and you can come back and play with them at any time. Or if you have questions later, this would be the place to reach me. So I'm going to go to message, and I'm going to, you're probably aware that on Instagram, if you want to test an automation, you do have to be on a different account. You can't test it with your own account. So I'm on my personal account and I'm testing my professional account right now. So I'm going to go ahead and say hashtag Marvel, since that is what is going to trigger the quiz. It takes a couple of seconds to load, but let me also explain what's going on behind the scenes as I take you through the quiz itself, which is fun, but what I really want to show you is what is happening at the back end of this while someone's taking our quiz. And so here, I'm just going to go through the 5 questions that the quiz has and just kind of answer them willy-nilly, just to get to the end part where it asks for the email. We capture the lead's information and send it over to our CRM. So I'm just going to go through these really quick. Okay, so when we get to the end of the quiz, it's going to ask me, are you ready to see your results, right? So I'm going to say, show me. And I'm going to show you the actual flow and the back end of how this all happened as well. But just to kind of walk you through it. Now it's asking the lead for, or not yet a lead, it's asking the contact or the person for their email so that they can get their results. So if I type in my email here, I'm going to use my personal email. Now, if you're on Facebook Messenger, you might already know that it will auto-populate this for you. So whoever's taking your quizzes or going through any of your automations on Facebook Messenger, the cool part is when you ask for something like email or phone number, information that Facebook already has on that person, it's going to auto-populate for them, and all they need to do is tap to confirm, or they can choose to enter in a new one, but it makes the process really easy. On Instagram right now, it doesn't auto-populate, so the person does have to type it out. But once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and send it. Now what's happening in my ManyChat flow is that my GHL-X app is taking over. It's grabbing this information. As ManyChat's computing my results, it's grabbing the avatar, it's grabbing my email, and it's sending all of the relevant tags and custom field data, which is my avatar, and sending it over to Buttr, where it's going to trigger its own automation, send me an email, and add me to an ongoing nurture sequence over there. So, feel free to play with this if you'd like to. Again, the account is the Bot Gal, and you can go through some of my case studies, but for now, I'm just going to end the quiz and take you back into Buttr to show you what happened while I was taking the quiz, what happened and how the information actually got taken over to my Buttr CRM, saved there, and how it triggered the automations that I set it up to trigger. Okay, so here I am in my Buttr CRM. Again, if you're familiar with HighLevel, this is going to look pretty familiar to you. If you aren't, this is our version of HighLevel. It's our white label version. And here I am in my contacts tab. Now I'm going to do a quick search for my name. And that's the one that I just shared. Now, what you can see here is it stored my name, my email address, because that's what I told the app to do, is send that information over to Buttr. And you'll see here in additional info that it stored my avatar as a custom field in my CRM. So this person has no idea that all of this is happening with their information. Not that we're doing anything illegal with their information, but the lead is just engaging with a fun quiz on social media. But here's what we as smart business owners are doing on the back end. We want to be able to nurture these interested prospects in as many ways as we can, right? And so that went ahead, and you can see that it triggered an email with this information. You can see that I've been testing this for a little bit with different avatars, but since we just took it, I got the Hulk avatar, it saved that here, or it updated it here, and now it's sent out an email to me with more information about that avatar that I can really share in a direct message on social media, right? So there's more information. I'm starting to build that conversation, that relationship with this prospect, and encourage them to share more about themselves and really build on that know, like, and trust factor at the end of the day, right? And so the way this is happening is in the automation tab. This is where all my workflows are. Let me show you how it triggered that email. So I'm going to go into my ManyChat integrations here, and here's the workflow for Hulk. Now, because I got the Hulk avatar through ManyChat, ManyChat tagged me with that Hulk avatar, sent that tag over to Buttr, and that tag triggered this workflow. And so here are all the things that were happening on the back end, all seamlessly, all without any manual input anywhere, right? So it created a new opportunity in my CRM. It removed me from all of the workflows that I might already be in. It sent out that email, so with more information about my avatar, starting up that conversation. And then I've added this contact now to an ongoing nurture sequence where I can give them more case studies and information related to that avatar so that it's relevant information for them. I'm not just spamming them, right? So again, all just set up, and it all happens seamlessly, automatically. Now let me show you how simple we've made it so that any clients who don't want to be in ManyChat updating their systems or their flows, what it means for them and what they can do to update that information or update any of their templates or bots. So I'm going to go here. And now here here are some of the templates that we have. I'm going to select quiz version 1 since that's the template that we've used for the Marvel quiz. And now here is where all of my information, so the title of my quiz, how many questions I have total, each of the question options, each of the answer options for each of those questions is all in here. So let's say I want to change the title, right? So first thing I'm going to do is show you how it's automatically updating this on ManyChat. So I'm going to go over to ManyChat. Here are my bot fields. I'm going to do a search for that bot fields, and you can see that this is the current value in there. Same thing that's showing up in Buttr, right? So it says find out your Marvel superpower. So I'm going to go back here, and let's say I want to change this to who is your Marvel business avatar, right? I'm going to save this here. You'll see that it's let me know that it's updated successfully. And now if I go back in here, let's refresh this page. And so here, we're going to go back to bot fields. Let's look for that fields again. And you'll see that it's updated the title, right? Haven't touched anything in ManyChat except to refresh the page and show you that it updated it. But really, all of these custom fields that are in our ManyChat templates can be updated directly from within Buttr itself. And clients who want to be hands-off don't actually have to come into ManyChat and mess with this stuff at all. So let me also show you where we're collecting this information and what our GHL-X app. This is the app if you'd like to check it out on the ManyChat App Store. It's just called GHL-X. And you can use this with any HighLevel. It doesn't have to be with Buttr CRM, but we do include it for free with Buttr. And so in here, I'm going to go over to my Instagram quiz, look for the results. Oops. And now you can see based on, ManyChat's doing the math, it's computing my results for me. Based on the result that I get, it's leading me through my GHL-X app. So the first thing it wants to do is check to see if this contact already exists in my CRM, because we don't want duplicate, triplicate contacts, right? So it's first checking. If this contact does exist, we're simply going to update their custom fields with their Marvel avatar and email if required. If they don't exist in our system yet, we're going to create a new contact and then add this information to that contact in Buttr. And so really what it's doing is here, so update contact information. I have multiple tags being sent over because I want to track who's actually coming from ManyChat as well, and that they took the quiz. And then I want to add that tag that shows me what their avatar was so that that can trigger my automation in Buttr. And with that being said, that is all I have to share with you today. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that has your wheels turning on some of the automations that you can start to set up for your agency if you aren't already, but also for the clients that come to you. Because like I said, a lot of small business owners are getting more and more interested in automation. They may or may not know what to expect from it, but they know it's going to be powerful. And they're interested in working with somebody who can set up these systems for them and help make life easier for them. And one more thing to keep in mind is that in Buttr, we do allow you to create snapshots of your account. Actually, HighLevel lets you create snapshots, but it's really up to the agency owner if they allow their clients to do that. We as an agency, when we work with other agencies, we give you the ability to create your own snapshots of the account and the systems that you're building for your agency. Select which pieces of those apply to your clients, and then create a snapshot that you can simply install in every client that comes to you, or you can have a whole suite of different snapshots depending on what your client is, what industry they're in, and how many different kinds of clients you're serving. And so we allow you to make that process really easy, where you just take your systems. You can use any of ours if you're interested, or you can build your own and simply take that and just install it in your clients' accounts, and it just works. It's just an out-of-the-box automation that works beautifully. So if you'd like to connect, I'd love to hear from you. Any feedback, any questions, any comments, feel free to let me know here in the chat comment, in the comment section, of course. But if you want to reach out to me after this, I am usually on Instagram the most. That's my social media channel of choice. So you can find me there at the Bot Gal. If you'd like to get more information about some of the other platforms I'm on, feel free to send me the keyword #hello. And it'll share some more of my information with you there as well, so you can find me on other platforms. Or if Facebook Messenger is your thing, you can simply scan this QR code up on your screen right now, and it'll open up this flow in Facebook Messenger instead of Instagram. I hope you enjoy the rest of the summit, and I hope you have a wonderful day.